Hi, everyone. Welcome to whatever this is today. It has taken a considerable time to set this up today. We're going for video number 2.
Look, we're trying to make this look professional for y'all. We're trying our best. This is new for us. But, you know, after last week, looking at the video, I'm a perfectionist, y'all. So I'm trying to fix the lighting. I'm trying to get the video to be a bit more high quality. So
yes,
it takes time.
Upward from here.
Only upward from here.
Yes. But welcome to everyone. My name is Manny.
And I'm Shawn.
And we bring to you the Moss Podcast. Streaming on all available services and YouTube. But now on YouTube, you get faces.
Yes, you will see our beautiful faces.
My barber is out of town and I'm quite pissed. But now I gotta wait 3 weeks to get a haircut, but it's okay.
It'll be fine.
I'm faithful to my barber.
I mean, most people are.
Yeah. That's like a relationship that surpasses any romantic relationship. Like a barber's there for you.
This is true.
They are there for you through the thick and thin.
Through the thick and the thin.
Anyways, if you are new here, whether you're listening or watching, this is how it goes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was reading a Twitter thread and people were like, I hate banter at the beginning of a podcast. So should we take that into consideration?
I don't think so, because I listen to a lot of podcasts and some of them are niche podcasts, meaning that they focus on one subject. Whereas here, we consider ourselves a variety. So we talk about a lot of different things. But for the most part, they all have banter.
Yeah, I found that kind of odd because I gravitate to podcasts that have banter amongst the hosts.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm a part of the conversation.
Right.
But anyways, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's been a real chill week, and I've been happy about that. I'm not mad at it. I got a couple of projects finished. And just, you know, living life.
Cool.
How are you doing?
And now we are recording this on an off weekend from the regular podcast. So you will hear me say, I'm excited for a 3-day weekend, but this will not come out till a week after. So,
right.
But I was just excited to get to this 3-day weekend. I made the worst decision of my life by going back to school. It has been the most stressful week of my life.
I don't think it was a bad decision.
Well, for me right now, it feels like the worst decision of my life. I'm like, who the hell needs APA edition number 7? Why is there 7 editions of writing papers?
I can't tell you.
You know what? That's what's wrong with our school system. They ain't teaching this shit in public school. Okay, that's what you need to go out and teach. APA 7th edition. And then by the time they get to college, it's going to be like the 9th edition. So you still won't know how to write.
I don't know why we need so many editions. Why wasn't the first AP the one that we went with and stayed with?
Y'all, this class is 6 weeks. We'll see what happens. I'm over it already. I'd rather do this podcast. But anyway, so we're going to mosey right into our standing issue.
On the table?
Yes, issue on the table.
Oh, was I not supposed to?
It's fine. Kick it off, Dano. Welcome to our table.
Welcome to our
It's
table.
right here.
It's fine.
For those of you watching, those of you not watching, there really isn't a table. And if you're watching and you thought you're looking for a table, I gotcha.
There is a small table.
There's a small table. Yes, because if you watched our first one, I was all over the place with my cup. And that was a problem for me. But anyways, what do we have today?
Okay, so this week we decided to kind of do random, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a couple of different topics that were in the news over the past couple of weeks that we kind of want to give our 2 cents on. So Manny found this lovely app website?
Sure. It's made for teachers.
Oh, cool. Where you can put in a subject and we can kind of pick it at random, or it'll pick it at random for us and we'll talk about it.
Right. So I'm going to read them to you.
Okay.
The topics are, he did what? Then we have PA gone wild.
What does PA stand for?
Physician assistant in this particular case. And then we have, he said what? It's different from the first one because that one was did. Then we have drugs and money. And then we have backtracking allies.
Okay.
Which one would you like to select first?
He did what?
He did what for 100? All right, here we go. A YouTuber admits to crashing plane for subscribers. A California YouTuber who purposely crashed his plane for subscribers has pleaded guilty to 1 count of destruction and concealment with the intent to obstruct a federal investigation. Trevor Daniel Jacobs, 29, admitted to taking off from a California airport headed to Mammoth Lake. I hope I said that right. He pre-planned ejecting himself mid-flight while letting his plane crash.
Now, I had heard about this story a while back, and people were kind of questioning whether it was real or not. There was even like I don't know if he was a pilot. I think he was a pilot.
Yeah, he was a pilot. Or had his license, yeah.
Are we talking about that guy or the guy that I'm talking about?
Oh, shit. I'm talking about the YouTuber.
Well, the guy that I'm talking about, he watched the video, and I think he was a pilot, and he like analyzed it like frame by frame, and he was saying that this looks fake.
Oh, he thought it was AI.
No, like he thought the guy did it on purpose. Oh, okay, meaning that he didn't. It wasn't a real situation where he crashed the plane. Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
So I really didn't pay any attention back then, but then it popped up again because he got arrested.
He did indeed.
And mind you, I believe this man already had a substantial amount of YouTube subscribers already, but he did this for more clout.
Yeah, not the best use of your platform.
I mean, if you are a pilot, you have a successful YouTube already, where you are probably already making money off of YouTube, so far to the point where you can afford a plane to just buy it and crash it. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, yes, growing your YouTube for some people is very important, but not important as, according to this, he could face up to 20 years in jail. I mean, where the fuck are subscribers going to go then?
Yeah, you can't do YouTube in jail.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen TikToks from jail.
I've seen Twitter videos from jail. So I don't know. Maybe he can't do YouTube.
Maybe he could do his journey from YouTube.
Actually, that would be something.
I mean, he's going to need a career after this. The FAA has taken away his pilot's license. So you just gonna have your YouTube. I
don't know what kind of YouTube videos he was doing before.
I don't either. I didn't look him up at all. I just thought the news was kind of wild. And then so in the story it said he stated he had lost power. He reported that as happening. He used the parachute that he had on to bail from the aircraft, and then one of his friends was in the area. Where the hell they got a helicopter from, I don't know. They used the helicopter to move the wreckage of the plane and destroy it. Okay. So that's where the concealed charges come from. Concealed evidence. Yeah, so listen, my social friends. Having clout in the social world is great and all, but it is not worth 20 years. Potentially 20 years in jail.
It's not.
And then losing your pilot's license. That's not easy to get.
I mean, people do wild shit on the internet all the time for clout just to get likes and clicks. But like, One, I remember now why people were giving him so much crap about it is because even though he was kind of in a remote area, like the plane could have landed on people or houses or in a road. Like
it could have gone wrong.
Injured or killed somebody else.
His parachute could have gotten caught in the plane as he was trying to get out. And what the hell are you going to do then? You're stuck there as your plane's going towards the ground.
It could have ended horribly.
Yeah. So don't try this at home. Okay. For all of you that have a plane at home that watch this podcast, don't do that. It was probably one of the, I call it a weird, strange story. It's not the craziest thing that's come out of the news lately. But it was really one of those where it's like, what were you thinking when you went through that decision? I mean, I hope you get a good lawyer now, because, but he may have gotten a lot of subscribers. Like, people might want to see what happened.
I mean, when the incident happened, he got like a boost, and I mean, you probably got a good revenue check from YouTube off of that. But like now, you don't have to use that money to pay for a lawyer. So.
Now you got to pay your legal fees.
Sorry, girl.
Girl, I don't know. Like, people, like, common sense has just completely disappeared.
It has.
Like, no, it's not worth going to jail. At least for me.
It's not.
All right. What we got? Next topic. Here we go. We got PA gone wild. He said, what? Drugs and money or backtracking allies?
Let's go with PA.
PA gone wild.
PA gone wild.
All right, here we go. Well, we're destroying our own set that we took 3 hours to build. A hospital staffer who has gone viral for trying to take a black teen's city bike and attempting to weaponize her tears is now being probed by her employer. Outside of the Bellevue Hospital, the woman screamed for help and began to cry as she allegedly tried to take the bike that was under the teen's account. Bellevue is reviewing the incident. It's unclear if the teen will press charges.
Okay. So a lot of thoughts on this one, because this is one that I saw, you know, like as this was happening. First of all, this young man is 17 years old. This lady is a white woman who was pregnant, whose hospital was like right there near the e-bikes. Now, his friends began recording the incident as she was trying to take the bike. And she has told her side of the story, but no one has really asked for this young man's side of the story.
Which I thought was absolutely crazy. Like, I thought that would have been the whole... Like, were police called? I didn't...
Police...
I know she screamed for police.
Right. I think the guy... Because when she was screaming for help, a hospital worker that you could see in the background was on the phone. And I don't know if he was calling the police or not. But I don't think the police actually arrived, like, during the incident. So I believe it was a website called News One. They did an interview with the boy and his family. And because no one had really interviewed him or asked him questions, his mother was very frightened to do the interview because
we're in the world of, if we don't agree with you, we're going to go harass you.
Obviously. And not only that, they're immigrants. So they are from West Africa. Her kids were born here, but the mother and father are immigrants. And so she didn't want any trouble. First of all, this is a white woman who, as some of them tend to do, weaponize who they are. Because clearly from the video, there are 5 black young men, 1 white woman screaming for help. And the mother was like, I'm glad the police didn't come because my son might be dead right now. Because it's shoot first, ask questions later. And very much this could have been a different outcome than it was. And I'm glad that it isn't, but it still doesn't justify what she did. And then to have the hospital lawyer try to back her story up, and then seeing that this young man has actual receipts. Receipts for the bike and receipts to prove his case and timeline and story of how everything went. So no one was listening to them. His sister decided to make a TikTok. And in the TikTok,
This is why we have to ban it.
In the TikTok, she showed the receipts of her brother had rented it in the morning. Him and his friends had rode it over by the hospital. Now, the thing with these bikes is you can ride them for about 45 minutes before the price of them goes up. Mm-hmm. And so what they would do is they would ride them until we got to about 40 minutes. Then they would dock it. And then if you dock it and then rescan and take it out, then the price doesn't go up. So that's what they were doing. So they were waiting for them to charge a little bit because these are electric bikes. And
this is too much.
Sorry. And why
I didn't know the process to rent one of these stupid ass things that much. That's why I don't ride a bike.
So while his friends were sitting on theirs, he was standing next to his with his hand on the handlebars. And basically she asked one of them if she could take the bike, and he said no. And she kind of went down the line until she got to him. And what she did was she reached over him, scanned the QR code, and then tried to say it was hers.
But it was already under his name.
Right. It's a mess.
It's a fucking bike. It's a fucking bike. Why are we fighting over a bike here?
Right.
The lawyer for her said that would any pregnant woman jump in to take a bike from someone? And I'm like, well, I mean, her actions say that yes.
Yeah.
She was willing to get a little confrontational for the bike.
I mean, how many times have we seen, white women, or as people like to call them, Karens, use...
her lawyer said she has been, what I quote, unfairly being called.
Unfairly being called.
I mean, at the end of the day, just like it was uncalled for. The young man had the proof. Had she had a conversation with the young man versus automatically going into entitlement mode, they probably could have solved that right then and there, and this wouldn't even have made the news.
No.
But now we're looking at a case where this gentleman has been pinpointed
and called all kinds of names.
Right, because obviously the race card is coming in to play now, and both sides are now at each other's side about it. You know, the minority community is defending him. The white community is like, oh, you're unfairly calling him. He was trying to be a thug and take the... Come on, y'all.
It's so dumb. It's so stupid. And
as a health professional, come the fuck on.
You could hear her in the video saying, "You're hurting my fetus." And I was just like, girl, really? Is that what we're doing? Like, I know y'all do much more for less, but like, you're hurting my fetus?
Is dumb. And honestly, if you were that concerned with your fetus, her words, I'm not trying to come after her, but she used that word. So if you're concerned with your fetus, why are you putting yourself in a compromising situation?
Right.
If it was really that serious where this gentleman was taking your bike, you would have removed yourself from the situation and called the fucking cops instead of sitting there attacking it and then telling him my fetus.
Right. And she also snatched his phone, which you can see in the video.
Ooh. No. You don't touch my shit. You touch my shit, it's gonna happen. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. Don't touch my shit. Don't touch my shit. It's my shit. Don't touch it.
Because you could, he would have been able to show that, hey, I have already paid for this. And the reason why is because his friends needed to ride their bikes back to, I don't know if it was Brooklyn or where they were from, but back home, because he says he uses those bikes all the time. It's like his Uber. And otherwise, he wouldn't have had any way to get back home. So, sad story.
It's just a sad story. Another case of just unnecessary hints of racism.
And here's the real kicker that really pissed me off about this. She has a GoFundMe that has raised over $100,000. For what? Because her feelings were hurt. She ain't injured. Why are we starting a GoFundMe for her?
I don't know. I'm just hiding behind my microphone.
I hope she has to pay back every red cent of that money if it comes out that she was at fault.
She don't need a damn
GoFundMe for what?
GoFundMe for what? Like, she didn't die.
She didn't.
Her fetus is fine.
She was fine.
Ridiculous. But that's kind of something that's going on in this country where we are uplifting and promoting the people that may have. I mean, the incident shows me that she's in the wrong 100%. Yeah. Now, people are allowed their due process because as of right now, this is still the United States of America, and due process in some certain states is still allowed.
Some.
I cracked myself up with that one because if you live in the U.S., you know what I'm talking about. Now I don't know where the hell I was going with that.
Due process.
I mean, she's entitled to her due process. It looks like she was 100% in the wrong, but right now in this country is become now people want to support the person who has done wrong. Like there was a gentleman that I believe strangled somebody to death in the New York subway, I believe.
Oh yeah, that.
And he is not only being propelled up by conservatives. DeSantis even came out and supported. Like that is where we're at now, and we're looking around like, why is there so much crime in the United States? Is because we are uplifting the ones that are doing the crimes.
That one is crazy to me.
It's not on our board, but it just proves my example that it's getting wild. Like we don't need to keep doing these things. It's ridiculous.
It's stupid.
And for those of you watching us on YouTube, I'm not looking at my phone as being rude. There ain't nobody texting me. But usually we record in front of a computer.
Yes.
And you don't see me and I can play with my computer. But now, I got to use this phone. All right. Should we make this our last one? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have done 2.
I know which one I want to do.
But these are random, Shawn.
So spin the wheel and I hope I get the one that I want.
Oh, it landed on Backtracking Allies.
Oh, wow. Oh my
wow.
God. That's the one I wanted.
That's awesome.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Now, this is just, it's not big news right now, but we definitely wanted to kind of talk about it.
Is it not big news
It's
right now?
not big news, no.
Okay.
Target is removing some Pride merch in response to backlash, saying the move is intended to protect employees from threats and in-store outbursts from customers. Given these volatile circumstances, we are making adjustments to our plans, including removing items that have been at the center of most of the controversial behavior.
Okay. So
I mean, this was yours. Say what you say. I gotta say, though, the fact that this is becoming such crazy news right now just talks to the climate that we're in. Target has always been an inclusive organization.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in 2016, they came out and said that inclusivity was a core belief in their company. They supported transgender employees and customers to use the bathroom of their choice. I remember that got some steam when that was announced.
Yeah, they were pissed about that.
But it didn't go wild,
Right.
It wasn't like Girls Gone Wild.
That's because we have now multiplied that hate by 10. Thanks to a lot of our so-called legislators. But go ahead.
No, I mean, here we are now. First it was Bud Light. Here we are now with Target. Nike was with one too. It is getting old. There's this Pride merchandise line that says "Gay and Tired," and I'm going to get one of those shirts because that's where I'm at right now. I'm gay And you know
tired.
what? I would even add the word fucking tired. That's just my line. I know they have to sell those in stores, so that word probably doesn't go well on shirts, but I'm just gay and tired.
It's annoying.
Like, one of the biggest issues around this is because there was a certain swimwear that was made for transgender people and provided an opportunity to be able to tuck appropriately. This is the one that is, this part of the merchandise is what's really driving the craziness, because they are saying this is indoctrinating children. We are grooming children. And I'm just sitting here like, first of all, for my YouTube friends, it's hanging on a display. From a distance, as you walk into said store, I'm sure the sign doesn't read tucking in like 82 font size print. It's a small tag that says, and I don't even think it says tucking. I think I have the notes of what it says. An adult bathing suit thoughtfully fit on multiple body types and gender expressions.
So not just for children.
Correct. So first of all, you just went up to that thing. You were looking for what the hell was wrong in that display. And I'm also going to go ahead and say that 90% of the fuckers that are out here going out to Target, destroying things and assaulting the employees haven't even looked at the Pride line. You just read some fucking caption probably on Newsmax or Fox, and you just ran to the store and you're like, I'm gonna fucking make a big old fucking scene here.
I'm annoyed. One, because
gay and tired.
I first caught wind of this from Twitter, and someone had posted a TikTok of this young woman who said that it was time to boycott Target because they had a pride section with said transgender bathing suits for children. And she went right ahead and started talking about it being grooming. One, I really want people to understand what grooming means. Grooming is when someone builds a relationship, trust, and emotional connection with a child or young person so they can manipulate, exploit, and abuse them. Now, if we're taking that to mean that having a transgender bathing suit in a clothing store is grooming, then that is the incorrect usage of the word. When you tell me that we have children going to school now and not learning about civil rights issues, not learning about slavery, not learning about
different races, different
religions, that is indoctrination. That is grooming to me, because you're in school.
Religion's never been taught in school. I said religion, but
I mean, to a certain extent, you do teach religion in school.
I mean, they will be in Texas very soon.
So you build a relationship with your teacher when you're in school. You learn to trust your teacher as you get to know them and they get to know you. You build an emotional connection with your teacher. And the things that you learn, you get not necessarily exploited to, but this is what you learn how the world works. And lately, we've been doing a lot of what they like to call indoctrination. Saying that all homosexuals are groomers or pedophiles or child molesters is just falsely accusing us, and it is wrong. If you're going to be upset because a store sells something that you particularly do not care for, it is your right not to shop at that store. It is your right to boycott. But calling for other people to be discriminated, hurt, or wanting them to be erased, that's a whole different story. I feel for Target because I know that they are allies. I feel for the employees that work there that have to deal with harassment. But at the same time, you can't sit here and call yourself an ally and then allow the bigots to have their way. If you assault one of our employees, you get banned from the store, you go to jail. If this is the game that you want to play with these companies, then I need some of these companies to start growing a backbone. It is not their fault.
Grow some cojones.
I know that a lot of them don't want to damage the relationship with their customers, but it's going to come to a point now, because we're in Pride Month, because this video comes out in June, where companies are really going to either take a stand or they're going to let the conservatives have their way.
And I mean, and so far they have. Bud Light backpedaled faster than an animal being chased by a lion. Target, we didn't even get to Pride Month, and we're already removing stuff.
Right.
And listen, I get, if you're here and happen to be a Target employee, I get your safety is paramount. But when you think about it, it's a daily thing. Like, people are always going crazy up in a grocery store. Yeah. You out of corn, you're out of milk, whatever. People are always going crazy. Target, you have security. You have the access to 911. I don't think that's the right message to say that you're an ally and you support and then you backpedal because of what's going on. Now, and I'm sure this is the vocal minority that's out here doing this.
Of course it is. It's always on.
And it's getting so much propaganda. Like, one person sees Marjorie Taylor Greene say something stupid, they're going to go on down to Target and do something stupid. Like, I saw somebody remove the rainbow thing and then he slightly kicked it. I'm like, ooh, you're real butch. Real butch there, sir.
It's annoying. I don't know. It's because then when you backpedal like that, though, you're pissing off both sides.
Well, right.
So now you got
Bud Light pissed off both sides. Now Target's slightly pissing off both sides.
Right. Because the gays are like, well, if you're going to support us, we're going to support you. And then the conservatives come in, well, we're going to boycott your store. Fine, boycott us. Most of them have the attention span of a fly. Next week, there will be boycott. North Face just put out an ad for their camping thing featuring a drag queen. And they're like, Bobert. Yeah, that's her name. I almost called her something.
If you're new here, I like to call her Lauren Bobert. Or no, wait, not Lauren Bobert.
That is her actual name.
What is the name I call her? Lorena Bobbitt.
That's a completely different woman with a really bad story. Anyway,
I know.
So she's already calling for people to boycott North Face, and most of her voters probably can't afford North Face. No shade.
They need those jackets. It's Colorado. Right? It's cold.
But I applaud North Face because they came out and were like, we include everyone. Everyone,
we don't give a fuck.
Is here. We're here for everyone. Fuck you. Without the fuck you, but I know what they mean.
I'll say the fuck you.
So yes, I just need more companies to either
grow backbone, period.
Either fight the bigots,
or don't even fucking do it.
Or don't do it.
Because I've seen now these companies that have these lines that are being removed. Now they're out of money.
Right.
Because they're removing the merchandise. So now these people are losing their what's the word?
Revenue.
Their revenue, their livelihood is going out the window now because, it's not Target's fault, but Target's not being politically correct's not correct. Target's just not. If you have supported gays for over 10 years, which is what the CEO came out and said, then show it.
Then show it.
Period.
Let them be mad. Like I told you, there's plenty of things in stores that are not for me. It's none of my business. I don't go down those aisles. I don't not shop at the store because you have things in there that don't pertain to me. If a tucking bathing suit doesn't pertain to you, then don't fucking go down that aisle. It has nothing to do with you.
And that lady that we kind of saw on TikTok was talking about the rainbow and how it's being used to draw the children in that. The rainbow God gave to us.
God's promise.
God's promise.
That the world will not be destroyed by water again, but by fire.
Listen, I saw a rainbow the other day and I'm like, should we hide our children then? Because, you just look into it and you become an automatic gay person. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand that argument. And we open it up to you out there on YouTube or in our podcast social. Like, what do you think about this? Because I can't formalize a rational statement or thought process as to their argument of rainbows and tucking is grooming and that we're making children become gay. Like, who in the fuck with actual common sense thinks that's real? Like, there was a gentleman interviewed that we saw, and to paraphrase him, he was essentially like, I don't care. Mm-hmm. My kids aren't going to become gay because they saw a rainbow outfit at the entrance of Target. He pretty much said, this is all happening because people are what?
Bored.
People are bored.
He said they need hobbies. They need something
They need some hobbies is what he said. And I was just like, you know what? That was in the most simplest form. That is it.
Right. He was like, none of this bothers me. I don't care. And he had 2 sons. And he was like, it doesn't bother me.
Right. Like, if you're that concerned, I don't have children, so I don't like kids. Here you go, telling me that I'm a groomer. But if you're that concerned with your children going out into the world and seeing a rainbow, because the tucking thing, ain't nobody gonna fucking see that unless you walked up to that fucking display. No. There's no fucking way. And the fact that this particular lady in TikTok had a 2-month-old and a newborn. They don't know what the fuck they're at that very point. All they see is all these people, bunch of colors, all kinds of different things.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Like, it makes no sense to me. And I would love to sit down with somebody who can try to make sense of it.
Oh, you can't make sense out of nonsense.
Like you and I were talking about, they don't even talk about religion anymore. It's not religion anymore.
No.
It's just that we're grooming and that we're a bunch of pedophiles.
Degenerates is what I believe Miss Boberg called us.
Thank you, Miss Boberg. Thank you for that compliment,
Degenerates.
girl. I'm just lost for words. I don't understand it. I'm a little irked with Target for backpedaling, especially with them being in the game for so long as support.
I mean, like I said, when Pride Month happens, there really is going to be a line in the sand, because a lot of companies will slap a rainbow on their logo and call it a day and be like, we're an ally. Well, we'll see how many of y'all are actual allies when conservatives call for boycotts from every company that supports LGBTQ people during Pride Month.
What did you say the other day? Somebody wrote, everyone's going to be naked and hungry.
Yeah, they're going to be cold, naked, and hungry if y'all continue to boycott everybody that supports LGBTQ.
I mean, I guess Chick-fil-A is still there. But
fine, eat your chicken sandwich, girl.
It doesn't make sense. It is all on the base of just either you're bored, I'm going to use that now, or you just are genuinely a bigot and a racist against the LGBTQ community.
And that's
all it is. Because I remember, at least back in the day, they used to go back to the Bible, right? Now, you barely hear the Bible as the justification of what they're doing.
Now it's just kids. Children, protect the children. We have to protect the children. But yeah, y'all, don't give a shit about the children when they're here because you want to take away government assistance. You want to force people to have children, which is, my God, like, whatever.
It's crazy. It's wild. And I really don't understand. I don't understand it. If it's not for you, keep moving.
Yeah.
If you are a parent of a child, then, and you don't want them to know about the LGBTQ community, then parent. Be a parent. Mm-hmm. Tell them what you need to tell them to eliminate that, I guess. Because I don't understand how walking into a Target and then there's rainbow colored things is going to turn your child gay. Let me tell you something.
It's not how that works.
Let me tell you something. I knew from a very young age something was different. And it sure as hell wasn't because I saw a fucking rainbow. Because when I was growing up, there was barely any companies out here willing to support the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if they're going to be gay, they going to be gay. Regardless of whether they see a rainbow. You know what I knew when I was a child about a rainbow? That at the end of it,
Was a pot of gold?
There was a pot of gold and a leprechaun. That's what I knew growing up.
Some Lucky Charms?
And then I ate some motherfucking Lucky Charms. That's what I did. But the rest of y'all now want to take this damn rainbow and turn it into something that it's not.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. When I walk into Super Bowl Sunday into Publix and they got beer everywhere, should I just be like, oh, damn this motherfucking beer, boycott? Like, it doesn't, like, if you have an ounce of common sense, this argument is essentially a non-argument.
It is a non-argument. It's a non-starter. And like I said, we will see what companies actually have backbones and start standing up to these people. Because another thing, most of these people probably don't even shop at these stores that they're claiming to boycott anyway.
I mean, that lady on TikTok looked like she's a Target shop.
She definitely looked like she shopped at TikTok or at TikTok, at Target. But girl, they won't miss you. Bye.
And I got news for you. Walmart also has a LGBTQ line.
Most stores have Pride merchandise during Pride Month. It just makes sense.
I'm just like, why can't we live in the world of if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. I promise you, we ain't out here grooming anybody.
No.
Half of us don't like children.
Facts.
Okay. Half of us are in the community just living our life, doing whatever we want, not pressed with y'all.
At the end of the day, that's all any of us want is to just live our lives. Trans people just want to live their life. They don't want you involved. They don't want to involve themselves in your life. They just out here every day just trying to live. That's all any of us are asking for, to just live.
And once again, we have said it many times. The LGBTQ plus community has been here before 2023. It has been here since the dawn of day, whether you want to admit it or not, whether it's in the cherished book of the religion that you follow or not. I promise you, the LGBTQIA plus community has been here. You want to know why you haven't heard from them in the past? Because they were too fucking scared to live their truth.
And that is why I'm fearful, because a lot of what this is trying to make people fearful of either coming out or just being themselves. And then also throwing gasoline on those people that would hurt people in that community just because of who they are.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. You're trying to revolt it back to the 70s. LGBTQ community was 70s, maybe further back.
It doesn't make America great again. Is what they're trying to do.
Everyone was just in a closet living their life. And that is not fair to anybody.
No.
Like, everyone should be able to live in harmony. If it's not for you, you keep it moving. I promise you. I keep saying this. I promise you. We ain't out here to mess with your kids. We don't give a fuck about your kids. Honestly, half of the time when I'm somewhere, I'm like, get your motherfucking kid out my way. Because I'm tired of you, 1, hitting the back of my seat. 2, cutting in front of me and spilling shit. 3, touching me. Okay. I was on the monorail at Magic Kingdom. You got to go listen to that podcast. And the child would just hit my leg. Did I say or do anything? No, because I didn't want to conflict with that person. Okay.
Look,
keep your child off of me.
We have lots of friends with kids who are very well behaved. I don't want them to feel like we're talking about y'all, because most of y'all that we know, y'all kids are A-okay with us.
Who do we know with kids?
Brittany.
Oh yeah,
Gianna.
Oh, Gianna. But yeah, okay. My friends' kids are cool.
Angela.
Y'all know what I mean. I go down to the Red Robin. I don't need to be around children that I don't like.
The ones that are not doing the parenting that they should be doing.
I'm just fucking saying, listen, like, gays are not after the kids. Like, no. That's all I'm trying to drive home here. We are not going after the kids. If a gay couple wants to adopt, they're going to adopt a child. And I sure as hell know, I've seen it. They're going to take the best care of that. We follow some gay couples on Instagram that have 2, 3 kids, and the kids look so well taken care of. And they genuinely love teaching their kids and show them love in a point where maybe they weren't going to have love. So gay couples that adopt, they have their kids. They love their kids. They do. I just don't like kids. But again, I promise you, we ain't after your damn kids. I just don't get that statement. I don't.
It's fine.
And I think it goes back to something we saw or read where None of them have policies. None of the politicians have policies. So what do? They create distractions. They create these policies that are
basically just taking away people's rights.
And it's like, look at what I've done. And of course, you're fulfilling half of the population, which, our country, even though people deny it, racism is still very strong in this country. And I'm pretty sure around the world, racism is still alive. And what we're doing, what they are doing is creating policies that feeds into that. And that's where they see their political gains. That's all it is. You're rooting into the racism of it all. And if any of them honestly believe that we're out here grooming these children, they fucking dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. That's all I have to say.
All right. So I think we're going to close.
This was his topic, and I felt like I took more.
You did.
I'm just tired. I'm gay and tired of just the madness in this country. Like, I was looking to move to Costa Rica. They got a good visa program, y'all.
They really do, to be honest.
We saw a beautiful house for $399,000.
So
they had a pool and everything. Anyway,
we're going to close the issue on the table this week.
Oh, I am sweating.
We hope you guys enjoy that random topic.
It's called the Moss Podcast Jeopardy.
Sure, we'll go with that. So we'll be right back with our corners.
All right. So who's going first? You want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
All right, y'all. Step into my world. Nobody said I can sing though.
Yeah.
So yes, this pod comes out at the launch of Pride Month, which is under attack by conservatives at this point. I didn't really prepare anything for this corner. Like I said, school has been wild. I'm surprised I got this podcast put together. But with the kickoff of Pride, I just want us to just think about our friends or in the LGBTQ plus community. If you are an ally, definitely check in on them once in a while. It's I think we put on a brave face, but it's not that we don't have concerns with what's going on in our world. Personally, outside of the pod, we share what we think's going on in the news, blah blah blah. But there is times where you just sit at home and you're like, you're thinking about going somewhere and you're like, is it safe to go out? Not only just as members of the LGBTQ community, but also just the wildness of today now where everybody just brings out a gun to end the dispute for no reason. Like, I turned in the wrong street. I sat in your seat. Like,
I ate the last Hot Pocket. That's true. A true story that happened last week.
That one really sent me. I'm like, God. Bitch, I can go down to Walmart and buy you a whole box.
Right.
Okay. But I'm just like, if we can just check in our LGBTQ plus community folks, if you can, join a Pride event and support them, definitely go out there. I 100% guarantee to you that the main functions at Pride events are family friendly. Why? Because there are gay couples with kids. They are not the scary drag queen shows that the conservatives want to paint pictures of. Some drag queens put on some very family friendly shows. And that's what you're going to see at Pride. So if you have an opportunity to support the LGBTQ community, go out there and support whatever Pride events might be available still. I know here in Florida, they have been slowly getting rid of them for fears of the new laws. From what we've heard so far, though, St. Pete Pride in Florida is still happening. So definitely check in on your friends, support an event. I'm kind of on the teeter of, do I want to go? I personally have concerns about going to a large function event because I don't know where people's minds are right now. And I sure as hell don't want to end up in a shootout. And then just take what I just said and think about that. How would you like to live in a world that every time you step outside your door, you have to think about what could happen because I'm different? And I'm not saying that we out here like, I'm gay, but going to a gay event, obviously.
Right. And truly, these people are just trying to live their lives. And Pride is a celebration of being out and being proud. And like, I know you see that there's always the images of people like half naked and dancing on top of cars and stuff. And yes, that is a part of Pride. And, yes, I kind of wish that.
But it's no different than here in Florida when they throw Gasparilla.
No,
people are half naked out on the street.
That is true.
People are drunk off their mind. And I'm not knocking it. Have your fun.
Right.
But it should be no different than an LGBTQ Pride event. Like, it should be no different.
It shouldn't, but we get... What is the word I'm looking for?
I have not a clue.
We get, I want to say not reviewed, but we get looked at much harder.
We're put under the microscope.
Yes, that. Way more during Pride, because they're like, there are children here. And then we make it about that again. And then it's just that cycle is like, well, we don't have a straight parade. Well, girl, every parade is a straight parade. That's not a gay parade. So
4th of July.
I don't understand that.
4th of July is a straight parade.
Pretty much.
I mean, and it comes down to that. They just also think we're trying to eliminate them. We're not.
No.
There's plenty of straight people still left and being created.
Yes.
So I'm just like, I don't get it. But I just realized, I just told that I don't know if I want to go to a Pride event. And here I am telling you, go be an ally. But yeah, I mean, just be I'm always very aware of my surroundings. And
I mean, you have to be in this day.
Yeah. Not even just because it's an LGBTQ event, but also just people are crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody might take somebody's parking spot.
I mean, literally that shooting that happened in Texas, people were just at a mall. They were just at the mall.
Yeah.
They were minding their business at a mall.
Yeah. So as we kick off Pride, that's what I'm saying in my corner. Just support. If you're an ally in any way you can, check in on your folks that are part of the community. It's a very weird time for us. It's always been a weird time for us because, we've never been fully accepted, but it's even stranger now because it just feels like everything's attacking the community.
Agreed.
And if you're out there and you're gay and you have not come out and you have concerns, do it when you feel it's your time and when you feel comfortable. I know it's like we're going back in the closet.
It feels that way.
It feels that way. We're locked in an office right now. Anyways, that's my unplanned, unhinged corner. What is your corner about?
Unhinged. I also did not really have a corner this week.
Well, let's walk on into your corner then.
Well, yeah, come on, y'all. Let's see what we can find over here.
What we got on the floor? Got some. It's hot as hell in here, that's for sure.
Hey, did you turn the air on?
I turned the air on, but I feel like we need like Beyonce fans or something.
So this week I will this is the beginning of Pride Month. I do want to acknowledge that. This pod has been heavy on LGBTQ issues already. I kind of want to just piggyback off you and be like...
We talked about YouTube crashing planes today.
We did. In the craziness that is. But yeah, I want to kind of merge last month and this month, because last month was Mental Health Awareness Month. And with this being Pride Month and with so many restrictions, rights being taken away, fear mongering going on, I agree with Manny that we should, those of you who are allies, to check on people that are in the community. Mental health is a big part of all of us, but especially in the community, because a lot of times people don't feel like they don't have someone they can talk to. Growing up, I was in the closet, obviously, but my family was very religious. So there wasn't anyone that I felt like I could talk to about these things. And, you know, if you're an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, and you may know of someone in your family, and you may have a strictly religious family, and they don't feel like they could talk to anyone, maybe just take them aside one day or take them out to the movies or to ice cream and be like, you know, you can tell me anything. Because just doing that kind gesture goes a long way and can really help someone feel like I have someone in my corner and someone that I can talk to about things. Because me and you have talked about, with all of this going on, there is a potential for this to lead to more suicides for LGBTQ people. It seems like the world doesn't want us here. And that can be an overwhelming feeling for someone who doesn't have an outlet or doesn't have someone to talk to. So,
or just a young person who's just definitely, you know, they have these feelings that I am different.
Right.
But have nowhere to turn. And all they see on the news is doom and gloom.
And hate.
And hate.
And so I don't ever want anyone to feel like they don't have an option other than ending their life. Because that is a permanent decision to a temporary problem. So yes, if you're an ally, like I said, and you may know of someone, or, you know, whoever it may be, family, friends, whatever, just reach out, see how people are doing, let people know that you are a safe space for them. And I mean, this doesn't even have to really be just about LGBTQ. It could be anything. People going through depression. There are many different types of mental health issues. So just be an ally if you can. Be a bright light for someone in their darkness, because you truly can make a difference. So
100.
That's my corner.
100. Yeah, 100. I mean, yeah, 100%. Just, you know, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, neither is Shawn, but if you happen to stumble on this podcast and you just need somebody to listen to you, hit us a message. We'll respond. Like,
for sure.
Obviously, we can't intake or provide the therapy that you may need or the counseling you may need, but maybe we can share our story with you on a more personal level, and that can help you. But definitely check in on people. It's like students can't even do it anymore to teachers.
No.
Like,
or guidance counselors, really.
Or guidance counselors. Like,
remember when they... Oh, never mind. Because they're trying to get rid of them and replace them with priests, chaplains.
Clergy, yeah. They're trying to replace counselors in the state of Florida with, instead of a counselor, a certified counselor, it is now, they're looking at clergy. And we all know about clergy in the church, but you know, the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
Anyways, that's the end of our podcast today. We hope you have enjoyed this episode. Every episode, we try to approach it a little bit differently to keep you on your toes, because this is, as we said, a variety podcast. Anyways, what are your last words this week?
My last words are to continue to be you. There's no one else like you. You are one.
Okay, Beyonce.
You're the only one. No one else can compete with you. No, truly, just.
I mean, that line, those lines are very true.
It is true. Just be yourself. Be yourself, regardless of the people around you, what's going on with you. Remain true and be yourself. What's your last word?
Definitely a happy Pride to everyone out there that is part of our community or an ally. If you don't like us, and I'm surprised you made it this long, in watching
thanks for the view, girl.
Thank you, though. Subscribe if you want. But yeah, happy Pride to everyone, and everyone be safe out there. Summertime is in full swing. As hot as blazes. Stay hydrated. I have no last words on this. Oh, wow. This is a good last word. If you have not checked out our first Virgin Voyages video,
yes,
it is already streaming on YouTube. It is not a podcast episode. It is an actual video. What did we call them? Adventure podcast, which don't get published to streaming services.
Sure.
So definitely go check out the first video. We have 2 more after that.
3 more, because the first one is split into 2 parts.
Okay, so we got 3 more videos coming at some point. So go watch them on YouTube. Hit that like.
Yeah, if you're curious about Virgin Voyages, you ever thought about taking one, we're gonna break it down for you.
We break down that shit. The studio's not as cute as it is here because we did that before we did this. But definitely go check it out.
Yes.
So with that, we say to you, don't forget to follow our pod on our streaming platform. Well, not our streaming platforms. Your favorite streaming platform. Or subscribe to us on YouTube. That's when you'll receive alerts that our newest episodes are out or videos. Search us by typing in Manny and Shawn, MannyAndShawn.
Yes, you can follow us on Instagram at Moss_podcast.
Or you can follow us on Twitter or TikTok at Moss_podcast22.
Yeah. And if you want to reach out to us, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can reach us at mannyandsean@gmail.com. MannyAndShawn.
Right. And then our YouTube is youtube.com/Moss Podcast. And don't forget to write a review on our podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Amanda. I saw your reviews on Spotify, so thank you for that.
Snaps, thank you. But definitely go out there, write a review, rate us, good or bad. I mean, we prefer good, but but definitely rate us, leave comments in the YouTubes if you go out there, and
like the videos on YouTube, please.
Like the videos. Listen, I'm not trying to get rich. There's, this takes entirely too much time to get rich. But it's nice to be able to share the content with the world.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we wanted to put things on YouTube just so that we had a wider reach because there's a bigger audience there. But, we love all of our followers.
Yeah. And the video pods were always going to be a thing at some point.
At some point.
We just didn't know it would be this quick. But here we are.
Trying it out. Seeing what happens. But anyway,
thank you for all the love and support from everyone. If you're just swinging by to see this one, we hope you'll, or listen, we hope you'll consider going back, listening to the others and joining along with us.
Yeah.
We got some exciting things coming up.
We do.
I can't tell you. Because apparently that's what YouTubers do. They just we got an announcement, but I'm not going to tell you.
You got to wait for the next video.
Or the next one. Or just keep watching all of them until we decide to tell you.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, y'all. Well, don't forget, as we say here on the Moss Podcast,
do something good for yourself.
And then do something good for someone else.
All right.
Oh, we got massages last week. Those were good.
Those last week? Good. Yes, it was last week.
I mean, my back feels like it needs another one, but that's okay.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, we're out of here. Happy Pride to everyone. Be safe. Happy June. Happy summer. Holy shit, the year is almost over.
We're halfway through.
We're halfway through. Soon we're going to hear that pleasant voice.
No, okay, no.
Don't want for Christmas.
It's too soon.
There's one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. Bye, everyone.